Hello friends, Jennifer Pearson here, Thistle Gypsy, back with yet more of the Greenwood Tarot, sorted by number and arranged by my own perceived path of development within that number. I think we'll get through the 10s, so we'll finish the numbered ones, I'm sure, in this video. And I'm not sure if we'll enter the courts or not. We'll see. Alright, so the 8s, sort of, not quite the 4s, is it the 6s that it mimics, kind of? Well, it doesn't quite mimic it. The 8 of Wands does look a lot like the 6 of Wands, which, doesn't it look a lot like, nope. Okay, so I guess it's just the 8 and the 6 that look very similar. We are once again starting out with a trial or feeling beset by adversity. But you see, kind of unlike, and this theme comes up yet again with the arrows. So with the 7 of arrows, we saw that they were hitting the person and causing distress. Here we see the arrows sort of passing by or passing through, and the person does need to be hunkered down, but doesn't need, doesn't seem as distressed, like emotionally distressed, and, isn't needing as much protection as is sought in earlier numbers, like, say, the 5 of stones, where the person is surrounded, feels like they need to seek security in a physical structure. So, yes, beset, but able to deal with it. Oops. Better get that before a dog does. I've had that happen before, where there was a card down, and I kind of forgot about it, and somebody else didn't, and it got chewed upon. So, and here I must see this person as knowing what they need, and they're between point A and point B, and so they've been through this cycle a few times by now, and so they seek nourishment, so this is how they recover from that situation. By this point, it looks as though they've developed a number of different ways that they can get nourished, build themselves back up after the, after their trial. And once again, once healed, kind of offers some kind of contribution, maybe to the community, or maybe is feeling like so this is a little bit hard to express, but seeing how their skill and abilities contributes to the whole and being happy to do that. So it's like being able to step away from individuation. So this is getting toward middle age, where you're just happy to find a way to be who you are. You know your talents and skills, and you're able to use them without necessarily having to put your stamp on them, but you're using them in order to benefit the larger community. You've got that big mammoth back there, who I think was featured in another card in the background. Was that the 7 of... I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah. So again, going, you know, to me this is sort of contributing, and that's carried, it's carried on. Because to me this is totally, I mean, it's very much, this, in this card, you are, if you're expressing something artistically, or you're expressing it, it's your own expression. But the sense here is that this person is not that concerned about being lauded for who they are, but they're happy to use who they are kind of for the greater good. And that this differentiates, let me say this, it differentiates from the, where is it? The 6, I think it was. Where was it? Yep. So if you see the 6 you can see distinctly what it is. You can see distinctly what the wand is coming from. You know, so there's still a lot of individuation and wanting to be recognized for who or what you are. Whereas in this, you just don't care anymore. You just want to be, you just want to contribute to that central fire, that community fire. You know, you're just not as concerned about making some sort of individual mark. You just want to contribute. So, the 9. So, here with the arrows. So first we had the arrows coming at the person, starting with the 7 of arrows, I think. Yeah, 7 of arrows. Well, if you start back with the 5 of arrows, you had things shot at but had missed. Then you had the 7, which was they were hitting, but they didn't seem to be going very deep, but it was still distressing. Then you had the 8, where they were just kind of either passing through you, or, you know, you're aware of it, and it's not comfortable, but it's not really affecting you. I see this with the arrows pointing away as an ability to repel. You know, you've got your own arrow at this point. You don't have a quiver, but you've got your own arrow. And I just see these arrows pointing outward as kind of the ability to repel negative energy. And it's maybe that you have enough obvious authority, like personal authority, not authority granted to you by a community, but just personal authority, that people are less likely to see you as being a target for attack, but also that you can repel whatever seems to come towards you. Okay, so now we're finally at a point where we're complete strength. There is, in the 9s, I see nothing that is a lack of strength or that is problematic. So yeah, so to me, you know, you're able to repel things. And that sense of authority moves you to a position in which you are able to defend others, because you're no longer worried or concerned about having to defend yourself. And so you are now able to defend others or defend some larger cause. And to me, this is just overall. This is kind of where you've reached at that point. You know, a place of celebration. And maybe this card should be first. Like I've said in the other videos, feel free to say, no, Jennifer, you've got it wrong. Or not necessarily wrong or right, but just that you see another perspective. Because I can see that maybe this should be the first card. But in any case, you know, a sense of fulfillment, you know, an acknowledgement of even what you have to offer. So this is less other people nourishing this person, although you have that up there, as this person also being able to nourish others, I kind of feel, to give them guidance. And with that, other people begin consulting you. I see these two quote-unquote stones up front. They look like two people to me, coming to consult this person in the middle. And so I see this, the nines, as development to this point, where other people see you as someone to come to for advice and counsel. Okay, we'll do the tens and then we'll stop. Alright, so here we are starting out, not necessarily in a bad situation, but in a situation that I see, even, you know, as a person who's been single, as one that can lead to depletion, and one that naturally has limitations, and that is the Ten of Wands. So in this deck, it shows, you know, this person has a little pup tent that looks like it can maybe hold one or two, but the feeling here is that it's one, that it's his. I'm taking it to be pup tent, and you can see that he's got tears in his garments. He's having to do all of the work just to hold up this one, you know, his one single existence. And I think it's sort of draining him, or it's kind of going nowhere, is the idea here. I need to do a little video on the Ten of Wands, because I have some, I think, not very often expressed, or I haven't ever heard it expressed in terms of the situation of the Ten of Wands. But anyway, so then we have the Ten of Cups. So this returns to the idea of community, and the rest of these cards in my hand, the other two and this one, have to do with the power of community. So the previous one, the Ten of Wands, is what happens when you're isolated from community. Even if it's your choice, that that it ends up being hard to maintain because you're not able to provide everything for yourself. And or the act of providing everything for yourself creates a situation where you are slowly but surely being depleted. And so this is, again, community. There's specifically the two people there, but it's kind of having like this multiple streams coming in, you know, and contributing. And that partnership leads to providing, and I almost see this less as a home than a school, in part because of the next, and because it is so kind of large and well established with the stones and everything, and the tree growing out of it. But it is the whole notion of at least two people coming together and forming a protected space in which things grow. A protected space in which things grow. And what I see is that this is and it could even be like a community lodge or a school or something like that, that equally honors, all right? So both aspects, masculine and feminine, both need to be part of this. That sense of community, what each person, each polarity contributes, needs to be part of it in order for there to, in order for it to be healthy and sustaining. There we go. And then, this is the teaching card, the Ten of Arrows. This is what happens within that space. You know, You're starting with a little ace there. In any case, you're kind of starting with a place where young people can be nurtured to develop their own autonomy and sense of authority in life. So there you go. There's the numbered sets, and I will also do videos for the quartz. I'm not sure if I can get all the quartz in one video or not, but I'll be back. Bye-bye.